So, the truth about the Wii U. This is a very long, much longer than my other truth of Nintendo's. Truth about Nintendo's. It's a little bit disorganized. I just want to get it done because, like, the Wii's been out for a while and I just sort of missed the boat on that. I just want to talk a little bit about it. Talk about this console that was pretty big deal, where you liked it, hated it, didn't like it, uh, bought it, didn't buy it, etc. Like, this is a pretty big buzzword. It probably influenced the success of the Switch, even based on how much people wanted it to succeed. Yet it didn't, and we'll get into reasons why soon. First off, why did they make the Wii U? Well, the Move came out, the Kinect came out. Nintendo felt like they had to do something new, get up to the times, even though the Wii was already very popular. Probably one of the most popular consoles of all time. So very high, was very profitable. Why they get rid of the Wii? Well, of course, you don't want to do a Sega CD32X because everyone, even though the Sega CD did alright, the 32X was a bit of a bomb. Even though that was more because there wasn't a lot of game support. Albeit, here we go with the Wii U, which I'll get into in a moment. The Wii U started off strong. It was reviewed very well by certain critics like Stephen Gitello of Kotaku, the editor-in-chief, or whatever his role is in Kotaku at the time or is now. And Jim Sterling of the Jimquisition. Even though I don't know if he's a credible source, but like, he definitely had influence on people who wanted to. He's very popular, so he definitely had influence on fans. He had a good launch title with Zombie U, which was critically praised. I was very surprised they didn't make a Zombie U 2. Maybe whoever created Zombie U got out of the race because of how poorly the console sold. It's just sort of a chicken and egg thing. They need third-party support to make the console do well, and they need the console to do well to get third-party support. On Nintendo's end, they didn't do well that way. They did have a lot of Nintendo Directs. They had like cool stuff like the Miiverse and stuff. One problem was the launch titles. And the other thing was, the launch title was mainly a bunch of ports. Arkham City, they never had Arkham Knight on with the Wii U. They had really cool use of the controller, which we'll get into in a moment. Actually, I get to it now since I don't really know what else to get into. This is pretty much what a modern day console should have been. I don't know if it's better than the Kinect, although the Kinect ran out of popularity. The Move ran out of popularity till the PlayStation VR came out, and even then, I don't know if the Move was that popular outside of like certain games, certain reverse compatible PS3 games. The Wii U was very interesting. It had a touchscreen like that of the Apple device, which is probably what Sterling thought was very. I think that was what Sterling said that was very interesting about the controller. And I thought it was a really cool device. Maybe they show one or like a Chromecast like device or something. Like that was a problem. Not to mention the price of the controller. The controller is probably more expensive than the console itself. And that was always a big problem with that. The price of the controller. The console was always expensive. It didn't do well until the console ran out of money. And, well, not ran out of money, but like was cut prices. Or until it was discontinued and everyone collected it. And then the Super Mario Maker and stuff came out. Super Mario Maker, Splatoon, or stuff came out. I mean, marketed towards basically the Switch crowd actually had similar to a DS. I don't know, maybe there's a bit of a risk though. Probably why the Switch has controllers based on all the previous controllers. Much like the PlayStation model where they don't change the controller much. Which is a shame considering that the Nintendo company always keeps their controllers very similar. Like, the Nintendo controller always makes their controllers very different. Sorry. NES 2 buttons, SNES 4 buttons, S64 that weird device, GameCube smaller, Wii mode obviously, Wii U controller. There was a lack of an eShop, which is very weird considering you figured they want to make money. But I guess they don't want to market that crowd. They don't want to charge people for subscriptions, what they thought, which people don't like. But what they did spend a lot of money on that, like GTA and other markets. I like certain games like on it. I like the arcade port of Tank 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 Game Boy. I hear the Wii U version is good. Of course, there's Wonderful 101. Smash did great. It had so many features. It had the GameCube controller again. It was great. It was like 8 players at the time. It wasn't HD, although I'm not sure who actually cared about that. Like Captain Toad's treasure tracker, or whatever you call it. Pretty interesting. You had Zelda Breath of the Wild, was one of the best selling games of all time. It didn't have a Pokemon game, unfortunately. Yeah, it's very weird. It wasn't so much the Wii U's hardware that fell, I think. It's pretty much the lack of third-party support due to the Nintendo not backing the Wii U. It was sort of like a WWE not backing Enzo Amore because they think he's too short, or like not backing a person because they think it's not American race or something. Like, they don't believe that this product is going to do well, yet they made the product in the first place, which is very weird. So that pretty much ended up being the end of that thing. See if anyone commented in the comments. I'm almost done here. Let's see. I don't know if I have any more notes. I mean, it definitely had console sellers. It's sort of like, I recall having like Panasonic like discs, or this may be Panasonic, and basically had the same problem that the 3DO did. It didn't have enough third-party support. Like the 3DO didn't have Mega Man, Konami, MK, Blizzard, other big companies at the time, Sims. A lot of these big skills companies didn't go to the 3DO, and a lot of big companies didn't go to the Wii U. Well, they had the good start with Zombie U, among other games. There's a lack of a Metroid game, like a Pikmin game, pretty much lack of everything that everyone complains about with Nintendo, who's a hardcore Nintendo fan. Wonderful 101 used the controller very well. A lot of people, maybe it was too ambitious of a controller. That's why I didn't get that much third-party support. Although, the control pad does have an ABXY, which is pretty interesting. Touchpad was good for like, I think I never owned a Wii U, but they had like a re-release of Zelda Wind Waker, which is pretty big fan of cell shading, which pretty much what led to the success of Breath of the Wild. Maybe, I don't know if the sales of that game led to Breath of the Wild having the cell shaded like look. But I find that interesting. 3DS at the time also wasn't doing as good as the DS did, although it did do pretty well and still led. It was a lot better than the Vita, at least, you know. And the DS and the 3DS did way better than Sony did, although the PSP was not laughable in terms of US sales compared to the Vita. That's pretty much all I have to say about it this time. I'll come back later. Hope you guys enjoyed.